is she here?
What's up?
Why'd you bring her?
We separated.
Larry Wheels is finally speaking out after his shocking breakup, and fans think the situation may have completely drained him financially. After admitting he never signed a prenup, Larry is now hinting he lost far more than just the relationship. This is turning into his biggest mistake yet. On May 14, 2026, Larry Wheels went live on Kick and said something nobody expected. He revealed he has separated from his supermodel wife, but still pays her bills after being married for 2 years, saying they split because they grew apart. Those words sent shockwaves across every corner of the internet. Within hours, clips from the stream were everywhere. X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of them zeroing in on one thing: the money. Larry Wheels let her keep everything he bought her, including a $300,000 Bentley, while he still continues paying for her lifestyle even after the split. That line right there, that is the line that turned this from a breakup story into a financial cautionary tale. A man who had publicly, proudly told the world he did not sign a prenup was now sitting on a live stream confirming that the marriage was over and the bills were still in his name. And the reason the internet went into a frenzy was not just because of the separation. He previously bragged about not having her sign a prenup because he fully trusted her. That statement, made back in February 2026, had already generated massive controversy. The original post from Mimix Tapies. Bodybuilder Larry Wheels reveals he didn't sign a prenup with his supermodel wife, despite being a multi-millionaire, because he trusts her, racked up over 864,000 views and thousands of comments warning him that this exact scenario would play out. Now here we are, just a few months later, and the marriage is over. But to understand why people are so invested in this story, you have to understand who Larry Wheels is and how he got here, because this is not just a story about a breakup. This is a story about a man who built himself from nothing, and the fear that one decision might have cost him everything. Larry Williams, born December 3rd, 1994, fitness influencer and professional bodybuilder competing in the IFBB Pro League. Born in Manhattan, New York City, before returning to New York City and later moving to Los Angeles. Larry Wheels went from living in extreme poverty as a child to becoming one of the strongest powerlifters in the world. Growing up in poor neighborhoods of the Bronx, New York, Larry's childhood goal was to become stronger and bigger, so nobody would bully him. That goal, born from fear, from survival, and left him and his mother with nothing. His mother would then jump from abusive boyfriend to another throughout his childhood, the worst of which happened when he was 8 years old. Wheels' mother would get into a fistfight with her then boyfriend, and he called the police. When the police arrived, they saw young Larry in the middle of the chaos. After that incident, Larry ended up separated from his mother. Williams began living with his grandmother at age 6. And then at age 12, Williams moved to St. Martin to live with his mother again. On that island, according to Muscle Fitness, no school, no structure, just a kid trying to survive. In order to achieve his goal, Larry began doing push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups every single day. With the help of his mother, he later built himself a basic weight set, consisting of 2 40 lbs concrete blocks and a broomstick. With this weight set, he was able to do more complex exercises, such as biceps curls and military press. That is where this story begins. He began strength training during this period, initially working out at home because local gyms had age restrictions. Williams later returned to New York City, where he started training in a gym. And when he finally got into a real gym, everything changed. He has said that he realized by age 17 that he was already the strongest person in his gym. That realization hit Larry like a freight train. Up until that point, his life had been defined by instability, bouncing between homes, between countries, between adults who couldn't or wouldn't provide consistency. But in the gym, he found something that responded to effort. Every rep, every set, every plate added to the bar. It was tangible proof that he could control something, and he leaned into it with everything he had. At 16, Larry came to a realization about his life. He felt the only thing he was good at was getting bigger and stronger. And from there, the trajectory was set in stone. When he felt ready, Larry entered his first powerlifting meet when he was 18. He entered the 275-pound class, but only weighed in at 245 pounds. The weight difference wasn't a factor, as Wheels won his debut powerlifting meet with a total of 1810 pounds. At 18 years old, in a weight class 30 pounds above his own body weight, and he won. From there, Larry did not slow down. He would win his pro debut with a total of 1,900 pounds, beating his personal best by nearly 100 pounds, beating his personal records every time he got under the bar. Williams set his first world record in the 242-pound weight class in 2017, posting a 2,171-pound total. To put that in perspective, that is over a ton of weight, lifted across 3 movements: squat, bench press, and deadlift, in a single competition. The math alone is staggering, and Larry still was not satisfied. Williams competed in the 275-pound weight class the following year and set another world record with a 2,275-pound total. At the 2020 Arnold Classic, Wheels achieved an all-time powerlifting world record with a massive 1,075 kilograms per 33770 flight pounds total at 308 pounds body weight. This broke the previous record of 2,369 pound 9 pounds held by Eric Lillibridge by just 0.1 pounds. Wheels achieved an 870 pound squat, 645 pound bench press, and an 855 pound deadlift. At the competition, a tenth of a pound, that was the margin. That is the kind of razor-thin intensity Larry Wheels operates on. But the iron was only one part of the equation. A prolific competitor, Williams has also competed in other strength sports, including bodybuilding, strongman, and arm wrestling, appearing at major professional and amateur competitions, powerlifting, bodybuilding, strongman, arm wrestling, content creation, and it worked. As of now, Larry has nearly 3 million subscribers on YouTube and millions of followers on other platforms. His social media empire became just as formidable as his records on the platform. Larry Wheels has built a diverse income stream that reflects his multifaceted career. His primary sources of revenue include social media platforms. With millions of followers on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Larry generates significant income through sponsorships and advertisements. His YouTube channel alone boasts nearly 3 million subscribers. Fitness apparel brand. Larry owns a fitness apparel line, which has become a popular choice among fitness enthusiasts. Although not confirmed, Larry's net worth is estimated to be between $3 million and $5 million, with his income coming from digital content, brand deals, apparel, and coaching programs. Was now a multi-millionaire living in Los Angeles. And then he met her. The couple revealed they've been together for nearly 5 years, while she waited for her US visa, where the world's strongest powerlifter crossed paths with a woman named Shejla Dakovac, a model from Serbia with a growing presence in the fashion and social media space. While she keeps a relatively low-key profile compared to Larry's high-octane content, her appearances alongside him on streams, TikToks, and Instagram have drawn massive attention. Sheila hails from a modeling career with an Instagram following in the tens of thousands, where she shares lifestyle, travel, and personal snaps. She was striking, she was confident, and she quickly became a fixture of Larry's public persona. Larry and Shayla, a fellow fitness influencer, met online in 2022 and got married in 2024. The wedding was the culmination of years of dating, long-distance struggles, and very public displays of affection. Larry talked about her constantly. He bought her lavish gifts, including a $300K Bentley, and made it abundantly clear that Shayla was the center of his personal world. But it was one particular decision that made everything explode online. She read on stream, "Hope you signed the prenup. No, I have not." Larry, after hearing his Serbian wife say that, followed by saying, "Funny, I did bring it up a couple times early on the relationship, but I decided not to go forward with that." He brought it up, he considered it, and then he decided against it. That admission alone would have been enough to generate conversation, but Larry didn't stop there. He went further. He explained his reasoning on a stream with influencer Clavicular. Larry Wheels noted that making her sign a prenup would mean he was thinking their marriage would eventually fail or have an expiration date. "I think it signals to my wife that I don't trust her. And I do. And beyond that, the internet knows that I've been transparent about my addiction. She's been willing to work with me on that, and I think I owe her a lot. We're a team. We build together. I don't feel like it's right to make a contract before we even gave our marriage a try. A team we build together. No contract, no safety net, just trust. And the internet did not let it slide. Thousands piled on, joking that ditching the prenup was a recipe for disaster and could tank his fortune. Comment sections across X, TikTok, and Instagram lit up with people telling Larry he was making the biggest mistake of his life. They pointed to the divorce statistics. They pointed to the wealth disparity. They pointed to every red flag they could find. And there were red flags, at least according to the internet, because Shayla herself had made statements on streams that fueled the fire. She admitted on stream she ordinarily would not date guys like her husband, describing amateur bodybuilders as broke, and saying that if he were broke, she would be uninterested in him. That clip went absolutely everywhere. Here was a woman, married to a man without a prenup, openly stating that she would not have dated him if he did not have money. To Larry's defenders, it was an honest and harmless admission. To his critics, it was confirmation of everything they had been warning him about. The financial admission was just the beginning. As the couple's public streaming presence grew, so did the moments that made viewers uncomfortable. The cameras were always on, and Shayla was never shy about speaking her mind, which, depending on who you ask, was either refreshingly honest or deeply concerning. The relationship gets more complicated when Sheila's affection for other men in front of Larry is confronted. On one stream, Sheila described her close friendship with former UFC heavyweight Rampage Jackson, telling Larry that some clips made her out to be crushing on the fighter. The situation was messy from every angle. Rampage Jackson recently appeared on a live stream with fitness influencer Larry Wheels, where he also met Wheels' wife Sheila Williams. The conversation between all three quickly caught the attention of viewers and gained traction online. Shortly after the stream, a clip showing Shayla Williams appearing to stare at Rampage Jackson began circulating on social media and went viral, sparking widespread discussion and speculation. Viewers dissected every glance, every laugh, every moment of eye contact. When Larry confronted the situation on a subsequent stream, the exchange was uncomfortable and revealing. "That's clip farming. I'm feeling him, touching my hair," Sheila said. "Are you?" Larry interrupted her. The silence that followed that question spoke volumes. Awkwardly, she did not answer the question immediately and laughed. Eventually, she said Rampage was not her type. Things get even messier on the stream when Sheila tried to deflect by saying she likes older guys and pointing out the age difference between her and Larry. For fans watching in real time, it was excruciating. Here was Larry, a man who could deadlift over 900 pounds, a man who had set world records, a man who had fought his way out of poverty, visibly unsettled by his wife's behavior on a public livestream. The power dynamic that people had sensed from the very beginning seemed to be playing out right before their eyes. And then came the streamer incident. Dean the Great, whose real name is Nuruddin Shahid Shabazz, tried to flirt with Sheila in front of everyone. He even asked if he could hug her. In the end, Larry Wheels slapped Dean the Great. That moment, the slap, was the culmination of weeks of tension that had been building across multiple streams. Larry had watched people test boundaries with his wife in public, had watched the clips circulate, had watched the internet mock and dissect his relationship, and something finally snapped. The slap made headlines across every fitness and entertainment outlet covering the streaming world. But through all of it, the Rampage clips, the broke comments, the Dean, the Great incident, the constant online scrutiny, Larry held firm. Both Wheels and his wife pushed back against social media characterizations of their relationship. She said, "People think they know about our relationship, but they don't know. Besides, like the prenup thing, they don't know anything about us. It's just like people think they know, and like they created this perception of like who I am based on clips and whatever is clipped and whatever is written. They were a team. They were building together. He owed her a lot." Those were his words. Throughout his career, attracting both respect and controversy, Larry had publicly discussed how Sheila stood by him during his darkest moments with addiction, a fact he cited repeatedly when defending the decision to forego a prenup. To him, her loyalty during that period earned her his unconditional trust. He emphasized that their relationship has weathered significant challenges, noting, "The internet knows I've been transparent about my addiction, and my wife has been very forgiving and willing to work with me." So when the internet told him she was going to take everything, Larry told the internet it didn't know what it was talking about. And then on May 14th, 2026, he sat down on a live stream and confirmed they had separated. The announcement came with a tone that surprised many. There was no anger, no bitterness, no explosive accusations. Larry simply confirmed what had happened and, in doing so, left people more confused than ever. He said, "We just grew apart. That's it." After years of public declarations of eternal trust, after rejecting prenups, after defending the relationship against thousands of critics, the answer was 4 words: "We grew apart." But the details that followed are what sent the conversation into overdrive. Larry Wheels revealed he is separated from his supermodel wife, saying they split because they grew apart. He is still paying the Bentley she keeps, the lifestyle she maintains, still on his dime. Fans of fitness influencer and elite bodybuilder Larry Wheels are stunned to learn he reportedly did not sign a prenuptial agreement, despite widespread concern that his wife may be taking advantage of his success. As the discussion spreads, supporters remain divided, some defending Wheels' personal choices, while others warn that his financial future could be at risk. The conversation has now shifted from relationship drama to financial analysis. Without a prenup, the legal landscape is murky and potentially devastating. Prenups are a big deal, with about half of marriages crashing and burning. And when the assets involved include real estate, brand equity, social media revenue, coaching income, and apparel sales, the stakes are enormous. His earnings come from multiple sources, including powerlifting and bodybuilding competitions, brand endorsements, sponsorships, social media revenue, merchandise sales, and fitness coaching programs. Every single one of those revenue streams is potentially subject to division in a divorce settlement without a prenuptial agreement in place. The apparel brand he built, the YouTube channel he grew from nothing. And that is what makes this story so much more than a breakup. Larry Wheels spent his entire life fighting to build something from nothing. Larry grew up in poor neighborhoods of New York, spent time in foster homes, and became familiar with hunger and poverty from an early age, and turned them into world records, millions of followers, and a multi-million-dollar empire. Every dollar he earned was hard-won. Every opportunity was seized through relentless effort. And then he made one decision, a decision rooted in love, in trust, in gratitude for a partner who stood by him through addiction and public scrutiny, and that single decision may now define the next chapter of his financial life. The internet, predictably, has not been kind. The February posts warning him about the prenup have been resurfaced, screenshotted, and reshared millions of times. The "I told you so" crowd is louder than ever. People who warned Larry in February are now pointing at the May livestream as proof that they were right all along. But others have taken a different view. Some point out that Larry's decision to continue supporting Sheila even after the separation says something about his character. He is not blaming her. He is not attacking her. He is not dragging her name through the mud. He is paying her bills and letting her keep the car and simply moving forward. Whether that makes him noble or naive depends entirely on who you ask. A man with a net worth estimated between $3 million and $5 million, who didn't sign a prenup with his supermodel wife despite being a multi-millionaire because he trusts her, is now separated after 2 years, and there is no legal document in place to protect the fortune he built from the ground up. On whether Larry Wheels would divorce by June 30, 2026, driven by the absence of any official filing, separation announcement, or confirmed breakup with wife Sheila Williams, despite persistent online speculation. That number is almost certainly shifting now. Larry Wheels has not used the word divorce yet. He said separated. But the financial implications are already in motion. He is already paying, she already has the Bentley. The man who can lift over 2,000 pounds may now have to carry the heaviest weight of his life.